I'm no stranger to Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I played a bit of the game when it originally came out in Japan in 2021, and I watched like the first episode of the anime. Never really clicked with me. I think it came out at a time when I had personally gotten tired of the old 2015 age of Japanese MOBA games that had a character standing in the center of the screen against the UI and you go through menus to do tasks and missions. Ensemble Stars, Love Live, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, Idolmaster Million Live, Princess Connect, also developed by Cygames. Idol game fatigue was setting in. Not only that, Genshin was the biggest thing right now and was literally rewiring the mobile game landscape. So it wasn't until it released in English in 2025 I went to AX and saw all of this, and even my streamers were getting into it, that I was like, okay, maybe I should give it another shot. And somehow, it just clicked. Suddenly I'm playing every day and finishing careers and getting my Umas to be the best they can be. Essentially, this game is a Tokimeki Memorial or Persona-esque racing sim roguelike, where you race stats over 3 years and compete in races to complete their routes/careers. If you fail to meet the requirements of your career path, that's the end of your run, and the Uma you built can be used as inspiration for your next run. The stat building gameplay already sold it for me. I'm a huge fan of this type of management game, and I'll often get urges over the years to play Tokimeki just because the stat building gameplay is so addicting and instantaneous. It's different from something like Ensemble Stars, which was like entirely different and really boring. It didn't have that instant replayability. I used Persona as an example too, since it's probably the most mainstream game that people will recognize, but Persona's life sim is not only incredibly long, it's also not the main part of the gameplay, so it's a real commitment to play the game, let alone replay it. Uma Musume works for me because the careers last about 10 to 20 minutes depending how far you can go, which makes replaying it a lot easier. It's also one of the first mobile games I've played where I actually enjoy the gameplay and care more about playing the game than continuing a story. Most of the recent games I've played, I've never actually cared much about the gameplay, and one of the reasons why I stopped playing Genshin was because I don't really care about the combat, amongst other things. Honkai Star Rail, on the other hand, I was more invested in the story than the RPG gameplay, and I continued to play it mostly because I can auto battle and easily grind AFK. Arknights also has a steep learning curve that you really have to lock in for, and I don't have the time and patience to play it all the time. Uma Musume is unique in the sense that it plays almost like an arcade game, a short and simple gameplay loop that encourages you to play it again, and that's why it's so damn addicting. But let's look more into the overall game. It has a gacha system that you can pull for characters and support cards, your light cones, craft essences, you know how this goes. But in this case, your characters aren't super important, and sometimes a 1-star is a lot easier to use than a 3-star. The most important thing is support cards, because these are the cards that will give your Uma skills and buffs to help you on your route. It's the difference between barely getting through each race requirement and being able to consistently get first place. As the route goes on, you should focus on the stats that are most important for your type of Uma. There are front runners, pace chasers, late surgers, and end closers, as well as noticing the length of each track and the type of ground it is. All these stats are labeled with a letter grade. There's certain events that will happen and you'll gain more if you've won more races. Every race gets you fans, which will help you with the next race. You also shouldn't focus only on one Uma, but start making a team that you can clear careers consistently with and use those gains for upgrading your Umas. Though you play through a story in the career, there's a separate section for the main story and character stories that you can read through later. There are also like random idol sections throughout the career where they'd start dancing in concerts after you win a race. But I find it funny that no one ever talks about this part of the game, it's just there. Also, once you start replaying it, you can skip through all the events, dialogue, and even races, which is a nice quality of life feature. As for the race themselves, they are so hype. Watching a race is actually very satisfying because you can see in real time the results of the efforts you made in raising their stats. It's also good to see what you might need to improve on, whether they fall behind because of a lack of stamina or fail to proc their skills because of a lack in wit. But the adrenaline from watching your Uma proc their ultimate and surge through to first place is unmatched. If you didn't know already, each character is based off of a real horse in Japanese horse racing, and I think that's another factor of what I like about the game because it feels like there was genuine love put into it and a respect for the real horses and sport they're inspired by. Every Uma has similar traits or appearances to their real life counterparts and it makes their character much more interesting. Goldship, for example, is known to be chaotic and silly, which is very evident in the character's actions, but also in how they play, as Goldship is a late surger that can go from last to first place by the end of the race. Personally, I don't have a favorite girl, but I like all the characters so far in the same way I like Namiko Pro from Idolmaster. It's just a great cast of interesting characters that actually have personalities and aren't completely cookie-cutter anime tropes. The real question is why it didn't hit me the first time, and I think besides the idol game fatigue, it's probably that I originally played it in Japanese, and there wasn't a lot of guides or tips to follow back then. So not only could I barely read it, I couldn't really strategize because I didn't fully understand the gameplay. so it might have helped that over the years of the anime and seeing high praise for its animation, I've learned more about Uma Musume and I've wanted to come back and give it another shot. Similarly, when I watched the original Idolmaster anime in 2010, I was also not immediately charmed by it until I finished Love Live and went back to watch Idolmaster only to find out how good this anime really was. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on the game that has pretty much taken over the internet recently. Uma Musume hits a lot of checks for me, and while it might not be something I play in the long run, I can definitely see myself coming back to it from time to time, just for that addicting gameplay loop. On this channel, I often discuss my opinions on video games and anime, and tell stories about my life, so if you're interested, you can subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.